So it was on a Sunday night. It was actually the last week in March of last year. It was on a Sunday night. And I just started to experience pressure. I can't really say pain, but it was like pressure, electricity in the middle of my chest, radiating through my chest to my back. What concerned me the most was it was radiating down my left arm too. And it became so significant that I didn't think I could drive myself to the hospital, but I didn't think it was a heart attack. But that happened on a Sunday night. I continued to experience it a little bit later that night, and then it gradually went away. I probably should have attempted to come in to the hospital, but to be honest with you, I didn't think I could make it, but it went away. The very next day, I was able to get a same day appointment, and I told my provider, and she thought because I didn't believe I could drive, she thought that it was significant enough for me to get checked out further. And she took me to the ER. They ran some tests. They didn't really see anything that was wrong at the time. But throughout the rest of that week, I continued to experience similar chest pains radiating throughout my chest, to my back, to my neck, down my arm, multiple times throughout the day. The pain had become so significant that I was sweating. It was a cold sweat. And that morning actually had been the longest episode that I had experienced thus to date, till that date. It was like 9, 10, 11 minutes, and it would not go away. But then they finally caught something on the EKG. They immediately sent me to Topeka. And then while I was at Topeka, they went in, they did some angiogram procedures, and they saw a blockage. They saw a blockage that was, from what I recall, one was 50% and one was like a 99% blockage of one of my coronary arteries. To be honest with you, I couldn't believe that I had a heart attack. I wanted to understand what was going on throughout that week prior. Why did it come and go? And they explained to me that, there was probably a blockage, but somehow the blood pressure just pushed it on through. But on the day that I actually had a heart attack, it didn't get pushed through. It was just completely blocked. But when I specifically asked them, because no one up to that date had told me that I had a heart attack, I asked the cardiologist the day that they released me. I said, "So did I have a heart attack?" And he said yes. I spoke to you a little bit about it before. My cholesterol has been high. I used to eat out quite a bit, but I do remember the cardiologist telling me, "Hey, sometimes it's just nothing that you can do." I could have changed my diet. I did change my diet, but sometimes there's no way to predict these things. He said sometimes it's just genetics, because when I actually got there, they looked at me and they saw a soldier in uniform. They saw my build and they're like, what are you doing here? They were polite about it, but they look at you, and even our ER, they're like, "Hey, you look healthy. You don't smoke. You don't do all these things." I was running a week prior. I was running in my neighborhood with a weight vest on. I feel like I have a second chance. I look at things a little bit different, not a little bit different, a lot different. I'm more thankful, in the morning. I'm more thankful. Even when I get down sometimes, I'm thankful that whatever challenges that I have going on now, I could not have any challenges at all. I could not be here. But I'm more thankful. I have a lot more gratitude to the things that I have today, because I could not have anything. I was never afraid of dying. I think what bothered me the most was it was the morning of the heart attack. I was in so much pain. I'm like, if this is a heart attack and if this is it, I didn't get a chance to tell people goodbye. So I think I'm a lot more thankful for the relationships that I've had, that I've made. I just came back from a internship with the VHA in Cheyenne, Wyoming, and I built a lot of relationships, but as I reflect back, meeting people, I'm just so thankful for the experiences that I'm having now. And, like the bad things, I mean, I think I'm laid back anyway, but the bad things, nothing really bothers me as much anymore, because I mean, I could not have any challenges or any issues at all by not being here. So I'm just thankful. I'm a lot more thankful for what I have. For me, I guess it would be just reaching out to people, your loved ones. And that's what I did do. I did that immediately. I reached out to people that I hadn't talked to in a while. I mended some relationships that actually, I've mended a lot of relationships that I thought were broken, because you never know. Tomorrow's not promised. So for me, that was it. Everything else, I'm retiring. I'll make it around to all those things on my bucket list. But I reached out to, at that time, I remember when I came back from Topeka that very next day, throughout that weekend, I started calling, all the people that I hadn't spoken to in a while. Yeah.